Hey everyone, and welcome to episode 137 of the Revive Yourself podcast. Here we go.
Are you sick and tired of being sick and tired? Have you got a health issue that just won't go away no matter what you try? Then welcome to the Revive Yourself podcast, where we reveal the secrets to long-lasting health by getting to the root cause of problems that no one else is talking about. So you can have more energy, clear skin, healthier hair, a leaner physique, more confidence, and most importantly, do the things you love and live the life you deserve. Here's your host, Ryan Martin.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to the show, episode 137. Here we go, rocking and rolling. Got some really good feedback on last week's episode with Rob Herring from The Need to Grow, a documentary, The Need to Grow. If you haven't watched it, then head on over to www.theneedtogrow.com. It's one of the most important conversations I've had to date. And if you haven't looked into or researched about what's going on with our soil and how long we've got left to use it, if we don't change things, then it's time you did. And it's a fantastic documentary, and it's not all doom and gloom. He actually goes into all the different things that we can do, and we are doing at the moment to regenerate the soil. It's a really good piece on Michael Smith from the Green Powerhouse, which is a phenomenal piece of technology that, I mean, it was so good it got burnt down by some unknown source. So make of that what you will. Before we get into today's episode, as always, head on over to www.reviveyourself.co and click on our shop, where we've got all our different supplements and products that I recommend. If you're looking for a great all-round product that's going to hit all your health issues and health needs and boost your vitality and energy, then you can use any of the Living Fuel products, the Super Greens or the Berry. Absolutely phenomenal. We've got that, and we've actually added a few new products to the Ancient Purity line, especially the liposomal vitamin C, which is great for this time of year, and the vitamin D3 with K2. Always say there's no such thing as the flu season. This is a vitamin D deficiency season, so make sure you get make sure you get that in your system as well. It's some great things. Also going to be adding a few other things in the next few days that I keep in my cupboard for when I start to feel maybe a little viral condition coming on. Things that are going to be, I'll tell you about when they come actually, because I won't want you looking for them, but some great things you can always keep in your cupboard, vitamin C, vitamin D, and then garlic, for example, and I'm going to have other options for you too. Also, we've got our EMF blocking devices from Aries Tech there. We've also got the 5G blocking device, which is great. You can have that on your laptop, you can put it in your car, and you can put it on your mobile phone. We've got our water filtration systems from Aries Tech, which you've got 1, 2, 3 or 4 bed house, either soft or hard water, whatever option you need. They take it to me, whatever option you need, we've got it, and it takes out 99.9% of all nasties, parasites, heavy metals, toxins, etc. So yeah, and also got a link with three of the guys. When I mention, always mention Blue Blocks, BLUBLOX.com for your red light glasses, your blue light blocking glasses. You've got them for the evening, sunset, and in the daytime you can get. I think it's really, really important the amount of time people today are spending looking at their phones or looking at the screen, for them to get some artificial blue light blocking glasses for the daytime. If you put in the code REVIVE, you get 10% off. And talking about that, if you head over to www.essentialoilwizardry.com, you put in the code REVIVE in small letters, you get 10% off any of the best essential oils on the planet, bar none, from Dr. Nick Berry. And also, if you're looking for anyone who wants a sauna, got a really good link with Clearlight, best saunas in the world in my opinion. No cheap metals or plastics or fillers used, and great for 1, 2, 3 or 4 person saunas, and even saunas that are built for 4 or 5 people, sanctuary saunas that you can actually do yoga in. But that's it for today's little monologue from myself. We've got 2 guests on the show. Jon Sherdian from Total Body Fit Camps, is that right?
That's correct, yeah.
And Gary Rothwell from Forever Strong.
That's the one.
Yep. So we're just going to dive into a few things. So, up here with these two on a business course, known these two guys for reasonable while now, and they've been in the fitness industry. How long have you been in it for, Jon?
Oh, over a decade now, mate.
Yeah, over a decade?
Over a decade.
Getting the people of Hartford in shape.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the leafy Hartford. And you've been doing it for how long, Gal?
About 3.5 years.
3.5 years, and you're based in
Rochdale.
Rochdale, right. And you come from an army background.
Yeah, 24 years in the army. Previously.
24 years in the army. But you do things slightly differently to how you were in the army, right?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, cool. So it's really interesting. You've got 3 years here, 10 years. I've got, 6 years. Well, 6 years doing what I do now, but in the fitness industry, etc. About long as you. So it's probably about over say 20 years based here. What have you guys seen, even recently, that's changed quite a lot in the fitness industry? Either one, take it.
I'll take it. A lot of guys and girls are used to the commercial gyms, and they think that a session is or a gym membership is cheap and cheerful, and they just go on the treadmill and they'll put a little bit of effort in, and then the results will follow. But mostly what we find is either they lack motivation, they lack the desire, the willpower. The gyms just aren't exciting. They're not welcoming. There's no atmosphere, and some people even find them intimidating. So they end up paying for this 12-month gym membership, and albeit it's only 20 quid a month, but they don't go. I'm 3 weeks into the new year and they don't go, and they've wasted 220 quid.
Yeah.
Where I know Jon offers something similar to me. We provide a group training package where we train them in groups, which are fun, exciting, accountable, and then we just offer them that support and guidance outside of the gym as well. And that's the kind of thing I think people need, and it's the kind of thing people are shifting to when they realise that they're not getting results. They come to someone who can, and we just show people that we get results with others like them, and they buy into that hope, really.
Yeah, that was something that I actually did a little post on yesterday. I think it was a live. I said, "There's nothing more expensive than a supplement or a program that doesn't work." People go for things that are cheaper because it's less than the other thing. But if it doesn't work, then you might as well just set that money alight. If you buy cheap, you buy twice. Then one of the things you've mentioned there, I think, is really good. I mean, the way that you guys work, because just for background, the two guys run they both run gyms. So Jon's is outside, Gary's is inside, but the way that they work is working with people, and you create a really good environment. Everyone we talk to up here, it becomes a community, right? And so people, not only are they getting in shape, it becomes something they enjoy going rather than actually not wanting to go. They make friendships there, and so it becomes a place that they can feel comfortable in. And gyms can feel intimidating. If you walk into a gym, you don't know anyone, are you doing the right stuff? And not only that, right? You two guys are there to show them what's right and what's wrong. I mean, Jon, I'm sure you deal with a lot of people that come to you and like their patterns to start with. It would be quite dangerous them going in the gym on their own without knowing what they're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you said what's changed. I'm kind of thinking what hasn't changed. People are still going into diets, joining gyms, doing the same thing, keeping those patterns going over and over again. So they dive into the diet, go fully in, probably eating way too many calories than what they were doing before, and soon enough it becomes unsustainable. They can't do it, and they're back where they started again.
I mean, less calories.
Less calories. And that cycle just keeps on happening. And I think what we're doing now is kind of just getting them to change that pattern and show them, a much more sustainable way. I mean, a lot has come along, there's lots of new diets that are out there, something to get people excited about once again, get them onto something else, get them spending a little bit more money. But once again, they're not, they're just not sustainable for people.
Yeah, I think I think all diets are the same, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're just packaged differently. They get you to consume less calories than what you need, and therefore you're going to lose weight. But a lot of people get more tired on a diet. It's hard work. They can't go out with their friends. They can't socialise. And, when that willpower dies at the end of the day and they're sat on the sofa watching Netflix, that glass of wine and that chocolate bar becomes very appealing to them, and that's where a lot of diets go wrong. And we find, we was only having this discussion today, is that the information's there. You only have to go on Google and type in a few words and you can find out whatever you need to do. But it's making yourself do it that's the key. And, Jon's system is very similar to ours. We create that environment. Yeah. Your environment dictates your behaviour.
100%.
And if you keep doing the same thing, i.e. the same diet, and you keep getting, I don't know, maybe some success, but then 4 weeks later you've gone to that party or you've gone to that wedding or you've gone on that holiday, and then you just keep doing what you used to do before and it all piles back on again, then it's got to be a paradigm shift in the way that you think. And that's what we do. I always say to people, I don't train your body, I train your brain. And your own brain will then train your body. And I meet people where they're at. So if they're talking about the Cambridge diet or the slimming world or whatever, I go and meet them there with the language that I speak. And then when they come in, the idea is then to hoodwink them over 6 weeks to 6 months, 12 months, 2, 3, 4 years, however long it takes, into thinking that the way they should be to change their lifestyle.
100%. What's so good about that is and I want Jon's input on this as well, but it's one of the things you said there, what hasn't changed as well. It's like, what hasn't changed is what's always worked. It always works. It's like taking out allergenic and inflammatory foods, eating real single ingredient foods. Like I always say to people, a lot of people, they like to go both extremes. They binge and then they think, oh, I'll go on a juice fast. It's like, once again, you just said, how sustainable is that? It's not sustainable. So I say to people, and I say it time and time again, you don't do healthy things to become a healthy person. Mentally, you become a healthy person, and the healthy things just follow. And that's why going to these guys, when you're going to somewhere like, I did a post about it last year, I think. I tagged in about 20 of you guys and said, these are the guys up and down the country. If you want to go to a gym, you want to work out, these are the people I'd recommend you see, because you're very knowledgeable, you all care, all your sessions are fantastic, you look after people, and you make it a community that people want to go to. Because at the end of the day, if people don't want to go, they're going to find an excuse. But if it becomes something they actually enjoy doing, that's why, as you've probably said to people, if you enjoy walking, do it, because you're going to do it. Yeah? Yeah,
I was going to say, you've got to 100% enjoy it. One of the big aha moments I had during my, about a decade of being in the industry, when I was starting to think of things slightly differently, it was like one of my members came up to me and was like, they just started and like, oh, where's the plan? And I was like, oh, what you want? You're looking for a plan? And she was like, yeah. It's just so great, have the shopping list, the meal plan. It just takes all the effort away. And I was like, that was massive for me, because that's why people aren't getting what they want, because they don't have to put any effort into it. They don't have to think about it. So it's not becoming anything that they're learning. Like, if you copy somebody at school, like you did, Ryan.
100%.
You're never going to learn it.
I'm the only one.
Mate, I was an expert at that. Tell me about it. Too busy chasing girls and trying to play rugby. To be learning nonsense.
too much on the sports field. But you're never going to learn. And I think, now, this is the thing I don't want to put words into Gary's mouth, but this is what I'm trying to do with my guys now, is actually, teach them that there's not an actual thing to follow.
No, 100%. I just said to Gary a minute ago, one of our guys we know, Fergus, he was like, he probably listened to this, and he was like, Ryan, what vitamin C should I get? And I said, there's a shop on there. Look, he's like, oh yeah, but that's too much time. And I was like, what you want about? That's the whole point. Go and learn yourself. And he was like, oh, but I want one that's at least 1,000 milligrams. And I was like, the other one's liposomal. He's like, what's that mean? I was like, well, go and research it yourself, because you'll actually take some ownership and you'll learn it, right? Because I give you everything all the time, you're never going to actually take it. And that's one of the things, you're making these people, they're doing the hard work, but you're obviously giving them the right formula to follow, because you've got very successful formulas, but it's them moulding them into becoming the person they need to be to sustain it. And, I say to people, getting up in the morning, Gal, you've been on my program, right, for example, yeah?
Yeah, I've done. You're preaching to the converted here.
But it's in the morning, with this, for example, people say, for example, lemon water, and you've got a few things in your morning tonic. When you're just doing these, you just become the person that does them. It's no effort. If you're don't want it, and this is why people go backwards, because they don't become that person. It's something they see as a 16-week program or a 12-week transformation, rather than, you know what? This is, I'm going to start with 12 weeks, but this is going to be me for life, and this is the person I want to be. And when you actually when looking and feeling good means more to you than not, and doing other stuff, that's when things changes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, just like, for example, even for you, who's been in the industry and we did things slightly differently, like you adapted and it, like a duck to water, right? And you haven't looked back since.
Yeah, really, and I like to say I practice what I preach.
You do, yeah.
As well, and I remember having that conversation with yourself playing junkyard golf, and we met, and obviously you recognised some symptoms in me. I'm not going to go into it in too much detail because it's rather embarrassing. But I got to that point. I was embarrassed. I was super embarrassed about it, and Ryan just came, I can help you. I can help you with that, and I paid the money because I found the value in it. And, I wasn't expecting this plan or whatever. And Ryan's plan was to basically, Ryan's, I'm not going to go into too much detail on here, but Ryan's plan basically was to get me to step stage into a certain condition, or a certain condition within his program over time. And I thought, you know what? Balls to this. If this is going to do me loads of good, and I'm going to benefit from it, I'm going all in. So Ryan basically says, have you stopped doing this yet? And I went, stop doing that. I've stopped doing this. How do you feel? Like shit. To begin with, I felt like crap. But after that initial phase, I felt amazing.
You looked phenomenal.
I felt amazing, and I was shredded as well. Not that that's why I wasn't doing it for that, but I was shredded. My skin and
better shape in your, how old are you?
How old am I?
Yeah.
43.
Than you were when you were in the army.
Yeah, people look at me now at my 43-year-old self and pictures of me and say, and I show them pictures of I'm 33, and I just say which is which, and they were like, well, I'd say that's the 43-year-old, and they're pointing at the 33-year-old.
Mate,
I was 18 stone, my skin was blotchy, my hair had fallen out by then.
But even when you were doing your kettlebell, because Gary's a former world champion in the kettlebell, even when he was doing that, I mean, he used to eat a lot of food all at once. It was almost like a badge of honour, and not just that, it's the shape, but his shape, what he went into then and now, he has kept it because this is not here to blow smoke up each other's arse, but it's just the way your mindset is. You went into it and was like, well, this is going to benefit me. This is what I'm going to keep on doing. And it has, and you look and you feel, you've kept that going. And then you can step outside the lines every now and again. It doesn't make a big difference because you're not doing it all the time. But you look and, you're testament to it. And I just wanted to say it. It's the same as any of the clients you get. I bet your best clients are the ones that come and they stay with it and they just go from strength to strength.
Yeah. I mean, talking about best clients, I'm picturing one of mine right now. And she came to us into our 6-week program, and I remember the day she turned up, she was shaking with like fear.
Nervous.
Yeah, really nervous. And she started doing the workout, finished the workout, and she found that really hard. She hadn't exercised at all. We're now 1 year on. She carried on.
Awesome.
But her transformation isn't just in her body. It's back at home as well. 100%. And her partner has told me, she's like, no, she's changed everything. She's become a chef. So she's now in the kitchen sorting her food out, not like, forever, but like she's now cooking her own meals. She's planning her meals on Sunday, prepping stuff that she can have as snacks. And that's all part of the transformation. I think people just solely think of like, what does my body look like? When actually there's all this other transformational prep that has to happen as well.
I mean, as you said, you'd like to meet people where they are, and if people are not going to do that, but they're going to exercise, then okay, you'd rather them do that than not, right? But when they start to change and understand it's the person they become, and the things that they just do naturally, things just become second nature. Like, you just start to go, right, this is my time. You become non-negotiable as well. This is my time that I have gym, or this is the time I go to martial arts, or this is and when I get in from work, I cook my food and I have some extra for lunch, or I'm not going to go there because it's easy, even though I'm hungry. I'm going to wait a little while till I got somewhere that's going to give me good food, It's just the thing. I've brought this up a few times on the show. One of my first mentors, I said, well, Ruben, he was talking about when I was ill, and he was talking about, well, if you're somewhere and you can't get food, just wait. And I said to him, well, wouldn't you be really hungry? And he said, yeah. I said, well, wouldn't you want to be full? And he said, well, what's the point of being full of nothing? And I was like, cool. He's like, your body will get over it in 10 minutes. And I've taken that with me. So I fast. We all do different types of fasting and different stages of it. But it's something I've really taken on board. And I was like, what is the point of being full of nothing? Because I tell you what as well, I might be hungry for a little bit, but mentally I'll be so much sharper when I'm actually fasted than when I've gone out and just had something that's random and rubbish, and I'll feel terrible afterwards through it. So sometimes what was one of the things Chris said today? He said, we're going to stop doing the things that cause you pain.
Yeah, about
being behaviour. Stop the behaviours that cause you pain. I thought that was massive. I mean, when you start doing that, it's a game changer.
Well, this is it, and I think a lot of this relies on people rely on motivation.
Yeah.
And like you're saying, just do this, just do that. But turning up to these things and making your meal. But the thing is that like, people have got to stop relying on motivation and just start doing things. Even just do them when you don't want to do them. That is when you're going to really feel. Yeah.
I mean, is it James Clear who wrote Atomic Habits said that motivation is great for getting you going, and setting a goal and motivation are great for getting it going. But it's the systems and the procedures that you do, and that you'll fall back on. Because willpower you will lose willpower, you will lose motivation. It's guaranteed. The amount of people that say to me, "I've lost my mojo." Tell me when you tell me what mojo is, then I'll start listening to you. Yeah.
This is what Jim Rohn says, right? He said, success. What did he say? Success isn't something that happens to you; it's something that you become. And it's like, when you become that person, you just do those things that become habit. That becomes who you are. That's why I think it's great to have you guys here, because all the people that have come to you and have been with you for a while, they've probably changed, not just physically, but mentally as people. And you're like, yeah, look, you come to it. And also they come to you for one thing, thinking they come to you to want to lose weight, but they probably come for added confidence, better relationships with themselves and their husbands or wives, like holidays, could be able to take close up on holiday.
This ties back to where I was saying before, I meet them where they're at. So, they want to get ready for a holiday or they want to get ready for a wedding. So we talk about that. And then when they get in, we start looking at the lifestyle and they're like, well, why you tell me to sleep more? And it's then that education process. And people come to me and, like Jon said, about plans and diets and ingredients and recipes and all that kind of stuff. And they tell me, right, is this it? And I went, yeah, that's the plan. And they went, yeah, but it's not much. I went, look, eat more whole foods, eat more greens, drink more water, get more sleep, and move more throughout the day. And I guarantee you'll lose a stone in 6 weeks. Yeah, I guarantee you. Just do that.
Yeah, it's like the old adage, right? Success leaves clues. I mean, people say, yeah, but I know that. It's like, cool. Why aren't you doing it?
Do it then. Yeah.
I
just want to. I've just pulled something up on my phone, and it kind of ties this. And we have a Facebook group as part of the accountability. And one of the guys that I've got who's been coming to me, I've been open 3.5 years, and he's been coming 3 years. And he put just 3 years ago, before joining Forever Strong, I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. 6 months ago, I decided to stop taking all medication I was on. I had actually had a conversation with him about that, and just said, look, if you want to, I says, you got to make the decision yourself. But if you don't feel that you need it, then you try, see how you get on. And he said, last week I had a blood test. This was posted today. He said, last week I had a blood test, and today was my annual review with a practice nurse. All my results have come back as normal and within range. I am no longer diabetic.
Perfect. Boom.
I'm not reliant on medication to reduce my blood sugar levels. Fitness and diet are the key to a healthier lifestyle. I will never allow myself to be unfit for the rest of my life. Bearing in mind he's 47. The summit is fast approaching, and when I reach that one, there will be another. The possibilities are endless if the desire is there. Set your goals, conquer them, because you don't know what you're capable of unless you try.
Mate, awesome.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And that's someone who came to me to lose a stone or two, and having lost 6.5 stone.
Now his pancreas is working.
And now his pancreas is working properly, and it's changed his life. Confidence.
No one has ever been born deficient in medication. I don't care what the doctors tell you. I'm going to say it 1,000,000 times. No one's ever been born with too many organs either. So they want to start cutting them out of you. Think, what was I born with that for? Yeah. Maybe for a reason, yeah. And and David's story from Gary's is saying that I've seen time and time and time again with I always say you cannot have health and disease in the same body. You either have one or the other. And when you do the things that create health, it's amazing how the body responds. And I'm sure you've had stories similar to that in yours, Jon.
Yeah, absolutely. Just as you were reading that, like one of the things that came into my head is a message that we give our members all the time, like when they're wanting to create a transformation, is that like you cannot create a body that you love by punishing the one that you hate. By punishing the one that you have.
Yeah.
And people keep going into it
doing
like...
the things you hate, right?
Yeah. And just, sort of going, slogging it out, doing these workouts, hating every minute of it, not really getting the result. The body's just going to turn around and just, give up after a while once you start doing that. And you'll never achieve what you really want to achieve. You just need to keep turning up every day, little wins, like Chris again was saying today.
Tiny little wins every day. And if you're only a little bit better today than you were yesterday, then it's a celebration because you've progressed. And it doesn't have to be better in every respect. If you're only a little bit better in one thing, then you've achieved progress. And sometimes you have to fail and not achieve progress to learn what's going wrong. Because most time people only come to the likes of us or the likes of you, Ryan. I can only imagine. I know exactly what it takes to come to yourself because I've had that conversation. I've gone through the program. But it's which is great, by the way, and it got me fabulous results, and it's changed my life. 18 months ago, quite literally, it changed my life. But how
much do I owe you for that?
but it's I kind of lost track of what I was saying there. But it's about just making those small little changes and accepting the fact that you will fail, you will trip up, and sometimes you don't notice the fact that you're slipping into whatever pit that you're going towards until you're in it, and you need that aha moment or that eureka moment to go, do you know what? I need to make a change.
No, awesome.
And that's why it's so great to be part of that group and that community as well.
100%. Because I'm sure you probably work with people, probably have chats with them about other things, not just the training, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And not just that, like, we've shared many a room, Ryan, and bed.
People I don't want to know, guys.
People, you're doing one now.
Now I'm in the same room. I really don't want to know.
But, just it is really hanging around with those sort of people, like-minded people, 100%. And like what I've learned off you as well. And, my wife too, she's always asked me, what would Ryan say about this? And ask Ryan. But like, being in that group and just working out together.
I might have a website, askryan.com.
Yeah. FAQs.
But that's like what you're saying there is brilliant because once again it's being around people, you raise your vibration up, everyone's on the same journey, and sometimes your friends and family aren't on that same journey as you. They're not going through the same issues with you, or they're not overweight, and so they don't know what things shatter your confidence in regards to that. So being around other people on that same journey, you get friends in that situation, then you all lift each other up rather than being around people that like to drag people down like crabs in a bucket. I deal with it a lot with my people where they say, not clients say, that's not going to work. And I say, well, look at the results the guy's got. But they try and be negative to people because they see someone rising up, so they try to bring him back down. And so having that support from someone like yourself, and because everyone who does this, they're all quite strong characters. Like everyone who owns this and everyone owns the gym, they've all been, as you said, they've all scratched their own itch, a lot of them. And so they've all been through it. And, that's a powerful thing.
Yeah. I think one of the biggest things, though, is for people to jump into that community. There is a lot of thought and feeling fear about going into that situation.
Yeah, it can be,
But I think they liken it to a community gym. So like a commercial gym, like I don't want to go in, but pure gym. So they envisage that
other gyms are available.
Yes, other gyms are available.com. But they envisage that, and then they come in and then they see other people that are just like them, overweight, looking uncomfortable, not happy with themselves, and they get talking to them, which they don't normally do. So already you've created an environment which they've not got anywhere else.
100%.
And then you give them care, attention. So you create the environment, you give them the community, and then you hold them accountable. So if they don't turn up, what are you doing? Why are you not doing this? Why are you not, do you need help? And that, that formula really, really does work. And that's what most people need. They need accountability, they need a community, and they need an environment with which they can thrive.
And on that note, we're going to do this again next time we meet up. We've actually got to go for dinner, so I'm going to cut it there. But this has been wicked, and we've got so much more to talk about. And just on that note, guys, so for Gary, you're in Rochdale. Anyone around that area, www.foreverstrong.com?
It's www.beforeverstrong.co.uk.
Beforeverstrong.co.uk.
That's BE, yeah.
Beforeverstrong.co.uk.
We're in Bury and Rochdale.
Perfect.
Branching out.
Perfect. And John, your website is?
Yep, www.totalbodyfitcamp.co.uk, and we're in Hertford in Hertfordshire.
Yeah. So, guys, anyone listening around that area wants to get involved with two excellent coaches who are going to give you absolute undue support and attention, as well as programs that are going to really get you into shape, then I couldn't recommend these two highly enough. And if you've got a health issue, then give me a shout at www.reviveyourself.co. But otherwise, we're off to have dinner. Hope you enjoyed that, guys and girls, and see you next time. Oh, and just before we go, I just want to say that my book should be out this week. I keep on saying it. It's coming. He just had a few little issues around, things going on in the background, a few little printing issues, etc. No problem, all been sorted out, and so it should be out this week, or I would say in the next few days. Really can't wait to get it out to you. Really proud of it. I'm not someone who overly enjoys writing too much prefer video and doing audio. I don't mind writing, but it's not my preferred medium of getting information out to people. But I knew I had to get down and write this book and get this information out to everyone, because it's extremely valuable, and it's, if I don't say so myself, it's going to be pretty life-changing for a few people. So that will be out very, very soon. And as I mentioned before, if you have been dealing with a health issue and you haven't been able to overcome it, and you're looking for some one-to-one support and a program to guide you through it, then please do give me an email at ryan@reviveyourself.co, or heading over to www.reviveyourself.co and click on the contact link and contact me that way. Otherwise, guys and girls, that's it for this week. As always, stay happy, stay healthy, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye-bye.
If you're struggling with gut issues, such as gas, bloating, constipation, diarrhea, indigestion, heartburn, and want to finally be able to eat the foods you love without the crippling after effects, then don't forget to head over to reviveyourself.co and pick up your free copy of The Healing Health Paradigm today.